miracle. The amazing Leicester City!
That's the penalty, guys. This happened. Nobody thought it would happen. 10 years after winning the Premier League, Leicester City have been relegated to League One, the third tier of English football. Fans are singing, "You're not fit to wear the shirt." It is tense. It is very, very tense.
The end is here. The game is over. No more pretending. No more. No more.
Right then, ladies and gents, welcome back to Riders the 92. Welcome to episode 6. And as you've seen from that tasty intro, it's all on the line for Leicester City tonight. This could be it. They are very much dead men walking. If they do not beat Hull tonight, Leicester City in less than 10 years will go from Premier League champions to playing their football in League One. They will be relegated if they don't win. Even a win might not be enough if other results in the Championship go against them. Only 5 years ago, they'd win the FA Cup in 2021. I'm here as a Bochum fan. Obviously, I've got a weird relationship with a German second division team who have a friendship with Leicester City. So I thought, rather than go to Bradford today, you're probably wondering, Rye, you said episode 6 was going to be in Bradford. We will be there for their playoff game, but I feel like it's more important to offer some support for a club in crisis. It might be too little too late, but the sun's shining, and as they proved 10 years ago, when they shocked the world, winning the Premier League against all odds, anything can happen. This is football. Let's go and check out the King Power Stadium. Let's wander up the road to Filbert Street, and where their old ground was, of course, Filbert Street. Let's have a wander around. Let's grab a pint, let's eat a pie, and buy a pin badge. Hit that thumbs up, and let's go. Right then, guys, here we go. What a fantastic shop. I wasn't actually expected to buy a shirt today, but as you saw, £20. £20. I know it's been a bad season, and no Leicester fans want to be reminded of this season, but I thought I would buy a shirt for £20 because obviously my club, my German second division club, Bochum, have a friendship with this club. So I thought, let's buy this shirt, and when we're back at the Ruhrstadion in August, I will deliver this shirt to a Bochum fan as a mark of friendship. So what we need to do now is, well, I was going to say find a boozer, but let's go and check out where the old ground was. Let's go to Filbert Street itself. Let's go. So with that Bochum fandom in mind, a lot of you subscribers aren't English, you're from Germany, and obviously we've got a lot of Union flags, Union Jacks. I don't think they're called Union Jacks, are they, unless they're on a ship. But we've got a lot of patriotism outside the King Power Stadium, which is quite surprising, as we know. Well, I'm firmly of the opinion that we should be waving these flags without feeling guilty. It's our country. But the fact that Leicester is one of the most multicultural cities in England, I'm quite surprised by that, because they're not ones that have been just put up by your typical roundabout painters. They're actually officially there by the club, I believe. Or maybe the roundabout painters have upped their game, made a very tidy job of it. Who knows? Let's not get political, because that's not what we're about on Football Paradise. So as you can see, current stadium, King Power, originally the Walker Stadium, opened in 2002, is there. But if we continue walking down this road, that's one of the stewards chasing after a group of lads that just nicked some shirts. I should have said to him, lads, they're only 20 quid. It's not worth getting nicked for. But yes, as we make our way further down Filbert Street, the old ground, as you can see on screen right now, whilst this was being built prior to the Matchday moving, or prior to that being demolished, was only about 300 yards up the road, if that. And there we go, guys. This is Filbert Street itself. Now, I have done some research, and of course the former ground was where those huge, are they apartments? Are they offices? Let's go and investigate where that big building is over there. So you might be able to read, guys, Filbert Village. This is student homes, accommodation now. A stark contrast to the rough and ready roar of football fans. Every time we come to the site of a former football stadium, we always talk about how the old school terraced housing, which used to look towards what was the stadium, the differences these guys have experienced over the years. Of course, 2002 is when they moved out, and look at the state of this now. So there we have it, guys. Gary Lineker. I say a somewhat controversial figure. He's definitely not controversial around here. Legend of the game, rightfully has a road named after him. I'll be honest, guys, I love seeing the stadium. I love exploring the sites of former football grounds, but one thing that really gets me going are murals, fan artwork done based on success. I mean, look at that. I know we're going through a bit of a gloomy day with that pending relegation, but we are the champions of England. Really nice to see fan artwork on walls around the ground, especially where I am right now. So I'm walking down Lineker Road. Let's get those shades back on. Shout out to my good friend around the grounds. How are you, Lee, mate? So remember, guys, every time we visit a football stadium, a new club on Riders the 92, we must tick off the 3 Ps. The first one being a pin badge. Obviously, you've seen, I've been to the club shop, I've got me a pin badge. Not too bad, we got a Crest one, only £3. So an absolute bargain, as well as our mega bargain, 20 quid. And as I said, when we're at the Ruhrstadion in Germany, in Bochum, this will belong to one of you. Pin badge secured. Let's go and tick off a pie and a pint. Let's bloody go. Let's be honest, Leicester's team have underperformed. They should be pushing for the playoffs. Those players on Premier League wages are now fighting at the bottom of the Championship. And if they go down, Leicester might still have some of those players on the big contracts. So it's not going to be easy to go straight back up from League One. I really do worry for Leicester, a massive club, a club I've always had a bit of a soft spot for. I'll be honest, I was born in Hereford, grew up in Herefordshire, and one of my young memories as a kid, I followed United a little bit for the glory, but I also followed Hereford United, and at Edgar Street, that FA Cup game between Hereford and Leicester, that was that Leicester team before the romance of the 2015-2016 team, that other glory team, the team that won the League Cup. I saw the team of Muzzy Izzet, Robbie Savage, was it Elliott, the big bold guy, some fantastic players under Martin O'Neill. So I've always had a bit of a soft spot.
Hereford earned a replay though.
Right, first point down, guys. Feel loosened up. Oh, it's here. You can do this as well, look. Go back like this.
Like, share, and subscribe. Amazing guy.
There we go.
Best smile.
And I'm going to use you for the thumbnail, for the clips. Glamorous lady for the clips.
We can hope.
Bloody social media, eh?
Right then, guys, I know fellow subscriber Sean is not going to be too impressed by another pucker pie. Some of you are debating in the comment section, do we deduct each club who offers a pucker pie a point when we do our reviews? Is it a cheap way out? Is it a cop out? And something that's not getting any better is, yes, we've got a Chang beer cup, but this is cider. I've been served cider and I'm so lazy I can't be bothered to change it. So we are going for a bit of snake bite today. We're going for a bit of lager mixed with a bit of cider. This might get a little bit messy. Guys, I don't want to kick Leicester whilst they're down, but in terms of food options, in terms of pricing, probably one of the worst so far. We got the rollover hot dog, quite a generic option, £6. There really is a gloomy atmosphere in the stadium, but who knows? A miracle has happened before. 5,000 to 1 to win the Premier League. I'd be interested to see the odds for Leicester's survival if they do win today. As they proved before, miracles happened 10 years ago, miracles can happen today. goalkeeper literally put it on a plate for the whole striker. 1-0 already, we're only 18 minutes in. That's why we're going down. That's why we're going down. It has to be one of the most sombre atmospheres I've ever experienced. Hull are going to get second in a minute. Until you actually come to the King Power Stadium, when you look at the scores on Gillette Soccer Saturday, you don't quite realise why Leicester are so bad. When you watch them in person, the players have no fight. I mean, it's been all Hull City, guys. They're on the attack. Almost 2-0 Hull. Well defended by Leicester. Whip back in. Just look around us, guys. This isn't half-time. So many empty seats. Leicester fans are absolutely fed up. Half-time, guys. We've referenced the empty seats. Those who are here are very, very pissed off. Obviously 1-0 down at half-time. It's looking like relegation seal for Leicester City. Crazy. The plot thickens. Maybe, just maybe, a miracle can happen again. Maybe, just maybe. then, guys, you've got to feel for Leicester fans, of course. Pure frustration, understandably, inside the stadium. Lots of calls for sacking the board, getting King Power out of Leicester City. Of course, they've had a roller coaster ride. We've mentioned the highs. Of course, they've had lows. You've seen the statue outside the ground. Obviously, their owner died in freak circumstances, and unfortunately, the family haven't been running the club quite as well. I mean, we've looked at Coventry and spoken about how their fans have suffered the lows. Now they're on the highs, back to the Premier League. Hopefully Leicester don't become one of those teams that fall down the leagues. We mentioned the financial possible struggles which are coming, of course, players on huge contracts. Hopefully Leicester manage to stabilise in League One and don't fall further and get back to the Championship and back to the Premier League. One thing we've not done, guys, of course, if you are new around here, this series is called Riders the 92. I'm doing a video at each and every football club and stadium in England's top 4 divisions. Again, this is episode 6, so we're fairly new to the series. And in the last video, the Portsmouth video, thanks for the great feedback, by the way, on the Pompey video at Fratton Park. And some of you have said the same thing I've been thinking. Maybe you should do your ratings for each club and stadium at the end of the video rather than in the next video. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to give you my ratings for fan atmosphere, stadium aesthetics, food and drink, and matchday experience. Obviously, we rate each of those categories out of 5. I'm going to give both my Portsmouth ratings and my Leicester City ratings now at the end of the video. And it's really difficult, isn't it? Of course, we went to Portsmouth when they're on a high, putting a little run together, safe from the Championship. So naturally, the atmosphere is going to be a little bit better. But I try and put it into perspective. Obviously, weekday games versus weekend games. We try and do all that. I've given Pompey fan atmosphere a 4. I thought they did really well for a Tuesday night versus Ipswich. Leicester, unfortunately, we could have gone lower, but again, understanding those circumstances, they've been relegated, of course. They've got those Union FS, I guess that stands for Filbert Street. I don't want to say ultras because that puts a target on their back for people to criticise that style of atmosphere. But the support's there. You can tell, even though lots of fans didn't turn up, you understand the circumstances. I've given Leicester 2 for fan atmosphere, Portsmouth 4. In terms of stadium aesthetics, you know it's personal taste. You know my preference is the old school grounds. The fact that Archibald Leach, the Scottish architect, still has some of his designs, some of his work there for people to see. I love the whole, is it Tudor exterior to the one stand of Fratton Park as well. It's right down my street, so I've given Fratton Park a 4 for stadium aesthetics. I've only given Leicester a 3, even though, you know, that style of ground, that generic bowl, if you can call it that, isn't really to my taste. I think they've tried to make it unique to Leicester. I like the fact that they've got all their achievements around the outside. Again, the statues. I like an Union flag. The fact that it's set next to the river. I like the location, so I've given stadium 3 for Leicester. In terms of food and drink, I've gone for, you know, a better than average 3 for Portsmouth. I thought they did quite well. I like the fact that they had a pie that wasn't a pucker pie coming on to Leicester. You and your bloody pucker pies. Firstly, I'm old school. I hate having to go to the self-serve checkout. I felt like those people behind the counter, I don't want to disrespect them, but even they couldn't read a receipt. You might have seen I was overcharged. I was charged about 14 quid for 1 pint and 1 pie, and that pint they served me a cider. So they had one job: look at my receipt and collect my bloody order. They couldn't even do that, and I know I kind of contributed because I could have gone back there and made a fuss. I'm not one of those that likes making a fuss. Absolute disgrace. Disgraceful options on display. I mean, a rollover hot dog, what a cop-out. Pucker pie, what a cop-out. And your beer choices, pretty crap. Leicester, 1 for food and drink. Again, value for money, awful as well. I've given Portsmouth a 3. Matchday experience, I've given Portsmouth a 3 as well. I think Portsmouth would have been higher, but that's the kind of trade-off to those old school stadiums. There wasn't much going on. They did have a good fan park, and like Leicester, the fan zone was closed. Even the fans couldn't be bothered to get there early. I guess they thought there's no point opening the fan zone where we were. Only a 2. They did put on some stuff for the kids though, didn't they? They did do bits and bobs for the kids outside. So that gives Pompey a total of 14, Leicester a total of 8, which is really interesting because we have a new leader at the top of the table. Portsmouth have taken the top spot. Unfortunately, Leicester, just like their fortunes at the moment, it's not good. Leicester sit on my Riders the 92 rankings, rock bottom, below Cheltenham, bloody town. Hopefully we get to visit Leicester when they're back on a high, and we will. You know, if there's any controversy in my ratings, guys, we'll go back and we'll revisit them. We'll redo the rankings, the ratings. Leicester City 8, Portsmouth 14. That's the table on screen. If you're new around here, I'm sorry to be doom and gloom. So I've got a lot of love for Leicester with the Bochum connection. Hopefully, again, they come straight back up from League One. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed, because next week in episode 7, we're going to be in Portsmouth's rival stadium, St Mary's. We're going to Southampton for that big game versus Ipswich. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for that one.